Yes, so I'm back. Okay, so then, his acting, by showing your hands, I just, I'm feeling very funny. There's a person who I know who shows his hand, this, that, and all that in action, full action. So, yeah, while I was coming on the road, I saw this huge thing, beast lying on the floor. You don't know such a huge thing. I was trying to run away when I saw it. Oh my god, it was a tree with branches and all. Then you cool down and you quietly. And Mahendra was accustomed to these stories, without any criticism or anything, to quietly sit and hunch on his chair back and listen to him. It was his time pass. This was all the effect of the Tamil thriller books he was reading. The place I come from is famous for timber. Ishwaran would begin. There is a richly wooded forest all around. The logs are hauled onto the lorries of elephants. By elephants, they are huge, well fed beasts, but when they turn wild, even the most experienced Mahout is not able to control them. After this prologue, Ishwaran would launch into an elaborate an anecdote involving an elephant. He'll say something, I live from here, and people have that habit of one thing to another, connecting from one thing to another. Suddenly they'll say that I come from. If I say I'm coming from Kolkata and I say that my house is at Kolkata, in Kolkata we have this hotels, there's one hotel, like this, in that hotel one man works. I know him, he cooks so well, and his house is also from there, and he will keep on joining and making a huge story. So these are dangerous, and you don't want to listen, but although you have to sit and listen, so it's very funny at times, but nice time pass. So he was talking about a place from where he comes was timber, I guess somewhere in South India. Mostly it must be Kerala or somewhere in the forest. There are a lot of wood things happening, and there are a lot of lumbering goes on. Wooden factories, your factories are there. Timber works go on a lot there. So and he was telling that they are loaded by the elephants. When he started saying about the elephants, he started saying they are very wild animals, and they are not able to control them if they get. And then he started another story with an informant. One day a tusker escaped from the timber yard and began to roam about, stamping on bushes, tearing up wild creepers, and breaking branches at will. Sir, how an elephant behaves when it goes mad. Ishwaran would get so caught up in the excitement of his own story. He would get excited. And where was I? Yes, when it goes mad, Ishwaran would get so caught up in his excitement of his own story that he would get up from the floor and jump about, stamping his feet in emulation of the mad. He used to copy the mad elephant. The elephant reached the outskirts of our town, breaking the fences like matchsticks. He would continue. It came to the main road and smashed all the stalls selling fruits, mud pots, clothes. People ran helter-skelter, helter-skelters here and there in panic. The elephant now entered a school ground where children were playing, breaking through the brick wall. All the boys ran into the classroom and shut the doors tight. The beast grunted and wandered about, pulling the football goal post, tearing down the volleyball net, kicking and flattening the drum kept for water, and uprooting the shrubs. Meanwhile, all the teachers had climbed up to the terrace of the school building. From there, they helplessly watched the depredations of the elephant. There was not a soul below the ground. The streets were empty, as if the inhabitants of the entire town had suddenly disappeared. I was studying in junior class at that time. Can you imagine what type of story this is? He's saying that, can you imagine that I was studying? He was one of the students, junior class at that time, and I was watching the whole drama from the rooftop. I don't know what came over me. Suddenly I grabbed a cane from the hands of one of my teachers and ran downstairs into the open. Then the elephant grunted menacingly, swung a branch of a tree which it held in its trunk. It stamped its feet, kicking up a lot of mud and dust. It looked frightening, but I moved slowly towards it, stick in hand. People were watching the scene, hypnotized from nearby housetops. The elephant looked at me red-eyed, ready to rush towards me. I lifted its trunk and trumpeted it loudly. At the moment I moved, it lifted its trunk and trumpeted loudly. It started, it gives that sound, the elephant. At that moment I moved forward and, mustering all my force, whacked its third toenail on the quick. Beast looked stunned for a moment, then it shivered from head to foot and collapsed. At this point, Ishwaran would leave the story unfinished and get up mumbling, I will get back after lighting the gas and warming up the dinner. Mahendra, who had been listening with rapt attention, would be left hanging when he returned. Ishwaran would not pick up the thread of the story right away. Mahendra would have to remind him that the conclusion was pending. Well, a veterinary doctor was summoned to revive the animal. Ishwaran would shrug casually. 2 days later, it was led away by its mahout to the jungle. Well, how did you manage to do it, Ishwaran? How did you bring down the beast? It had something to do with a Japanese art. I think, sir, karate or jiu-jitsu it is called. I had read about it somewhere. It temporarily paralyzes the nervous system, you see. Not a day passed without Ishwaran recounting some story packed with adventure, horror and suspense. Whether the story was credible or not, Mahendra enjoyed listening to it because of the inimitable way in which it was told. Ishwaran seemed to more than make up for the absence of a TV in Mahendra's living quarters. Didn't I tell you just now that he was his TV? And this is what happened. So it's a great enjoyment, and really nice and awesome. If I get to have you in the class, I'll make it. We'll really enjoy the story. I like also copying people. You get into that. When you get into that character, in front of that angry elephant, you go with one small cane and you tip its toe and you say that because of the Japanese style, it went down quiet. And I became the hero. Everyone ran up to the class and he was the student of that school who came out. Awesome. Very nice. Very good story. Okay, I'll come back and we'll get back to this. I enjoyed the story. I hope you did also. And I'll give you a brief up on this. Very nice story. See, stories have to be enjoyed like this. You have to have fun when you study. Okay, guys. See you. Take care. Love your parents. And it's Father's Day on Sunday, 21st. So wish all the fathers out there of Hertford and all of Kamtol and all of Bihar, all of the world, all of India, all of the world, all of the universe, to all the fathers for bringing in such wonderful diamonds into the world like you. And to all your fathers of class 9, wish you all the fathers, and I'm proud to all the fathers out there that you have brought in such beautiful diamonds into this world, and I have the honor of sharing my knowledge with them and making them one of the best diamonds of the world too. So thank you very much. Happy Father's Day to all of you, and take care. God bless, guys, and you take care of yourself. Be home, be safe, and do whatever you want after you do your studies. Bye bye.